All right, let's talk about AI agents. You've seen the demos, right? But how do they really work? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look under the hood, way beyond just a simple chatbot, to see the architecture that makes true automation happen. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? So many of us see these slick demos, but it feels like we're just hand-holding ChatGPT. That's not real automation. The jump from that to a truly hands-off AI team, it feels like a total mystery, like this big black box. Okay, so let's crack open that black box. How do you go from that slower typewriter to something that actually works for you? We're going to map out the journey from a single isolated AI to a whole workforce of them. And the secret, as you'll see, is all in the architecture, the design that gets them all talking and working together. So here's the big idea, the huge paradigm shift. Stop trying to make one single generalist AI do everything. It gets overwhelmed, it's inefficient, it's just not going to work. The real move is to build an AI agent workforce. Think of it like a company, a team of specialists, each one having exactly one job that it's an expert at. And this is the real magic. It's not about the AI model itself. It's about what some people are calling harness engineering. You're building a structure, a harness, that lets all these specialized agents work together effectively. That harness, that's the secret sauce. It's the system, not just the AI. Okay, so to really get how this harness works, let's break the whole thing down into 3 key roles. Seriously, once you understand these 3 jobs, the whole concept just clicks. First, you've got the builder. This is your setup crew. Its job is basically a one-and-done deal. It builds the digital environment, the office, the factory floor, whatever you want to call it. It sets up the databases, the APIs, the dashboards, the whole infrastructure where the other agents are going to live and work. All right, next up is the orchestrator. This is the brain of the operation, the project manager. And here's the key. It doesn't do any of the actual work itself. Nope. It takes your big goal, breaks it down into a bunch of smaller, manageable tasks, and then figures out exactly which specialist agent to hand each task off to. It's the ultimate delegator. And finally, you have the executors. These are your boots on the ground, the specialists in the trenches doing the actual work. You'll have a researcher agent, a coder agent, a writer agent, you name it. Each one is hyper-focused on its one skill. They get their assignment from the orchestrator, do the job, and then report back. Okay, that's the theory. But what does this look like in practice? How do these 3 roles actually work together? Let's trace a real prompt from start to finish through an actual system that was built to automate content creation. So check this out. This is a real, live system a developer uses to automate all their content marketing. It's a stock of 7 different agents, and the big boss, the orchestrator, is an agent named Axis. And this table, this just shows that one job rule perfectly. See how each agent has a super specific role and a specific output? Take Trend Intel. Its job isn't to write an article. Its only job is to spit out a JSON file. That's just a simple structured text file with a list of trending topics. That predictability is everything. It's what makes the whole system work without falling apart. Okay, now this is where it gets really, really smart. How do these agents talk to each other? You might think it's some super complicated messaging system, right? Wrong. It's just a file. Seriously. The Trend Intel agent wakes up, finds some topics, and writes them to a file called latest.json. That file sitting in a folder is the signal for the next agent to wake up, read it, and start its job. It's so simple, but it's incredibly robust. And the best part? Because of this simple file-based handoff, this whole workflow can run completely on its own. The agents can do all this work while you're sleeping. You wake up in the morning, and boom, there's a fully drafted article just waiting for you to give it a quick look over. That's real automation. Right. So for any of this to work, every single agent on the team needs 2 fundamental things. Think of it as their standard issue equipment, a toolkit and a memory. Let's talk about the toolbox first. Tools are how the agent actually interacts with the world. Without them, it's just a brain in a jar. It can think, but it can't do anything. So a tool could be an API that lets it create images, or something that gives it control over a web browser to scrape websites, or even custom functions that you write yourself. This is how they get stuff done. But honestly, the biggest headache, the real engineering challenge, is memory. Here's the problem. By default, LLMs try to save money by summarizing old conversations. And when they do that, they can just delete the most important rules you gave them. It just forgets. So the solution is to build a persistent memory. You basically tell the agent, hey,
These specific rules are super important. Save them to this special file over here and never summarize or forget them. And this quote just nails it. Memory is the thing that's going to break at 2 a.m. and you'll have no idea why. Think about it. An agent that forgets how you want it to write or forgets your company's core values. It's useless, right? So engineering a solid memory system isn't a nice to have. It's absolutely non-negotiable if you want to build something you can actually rely on.
So let's put it all together. How would you actually build one of these things yourself? Well, it's actually way more straightforward than you might think, because it all comes back to that idea of simplicity. Step 1, make a folder for each agent. Step 2, inside each folder, create a simple text file that defines its one single job. Then you just set up those simple file-based handoffs to connect them. That's the core of it. Look, if there is only one thing you remember from all of this, make it this: one job per agent. That's the golden rule. The more you specialize each agent, the more focused its task is, the better the whole system will work. It becomes more reliable, more predictable, just better. And what this all means is that the future of AI automation isn't about finding the one perfect, super smart AI. It's about a shift in our role. We're not just prompters anymore. We're becoming architects. We're the ones designing and managing these intelligent systems, these entire digital teams. So that brings us to the final question. And this one's for you. Now that you've seen the blueprint, what could you build? If you could put together your own team of 7 AI agents, your own specialist stack, what big, annoying, time-sucking problem would you have them solve first?